If we can gather enough men, we can beat Varus and his legions, drive Rome from our lands. We could be free again.
Why would anyone trust you?
Because I am my father's son.
Arminius was undoubtedly the liberator of Germania. He fought the Romans when their power was at its height and decisively defeated them.
Germania represents one of the greatest areas of resistance against the expansion of the Roman Empire. This is a place where Rome has to pour in continually resources to subjugate the people. One thing they did was actually take away their children.
Arminius was taken at the age of 10 or so, against his will, as a hostage with his brother.
Taking an older son or several sons from conquered tribes and bringing them back to Rome served the purpose of Romanization, if you will. These sons will now be raised and accustomed to Roman ways. And ideally, they would see themselves as more Roman than as Germanic barbarians.
So he's actually been brought up in a foreign culture and actually got promoted through the ranks of the Roman army.
Once they went back to their homeland, the theory was that they would continue that Romanization and it would spread throughout all of Germania.
When Arminius returned to his Germanic homeland, he would have seen a traditional way of life that he had grown up with being utterly set aside. As the new Roman governor, Quintilius Varus, imposed new taxes, regulated Germany in ways that had never occurred before, and put into effect the full force of Roman occupation on a previously free land.
When Arminius sees the reality of Roman imperial domination and what it means for his people, he's faced with difficult choices. Is he going to be the enforcer of Rome's empire that he's been trained to be? And what Arminius does is turn around and make a radical choice. Actually a total out-and-out rejection of Roman power and mounting the largest rebellion that he can put together.
Arminius had 15,000 followers almost overnight.
The stakes of Arminius's rebellion could not be higher. For the Germans, it is an opportunity to destroy the Roman bases and the Roman legions that have occupied Germany and win their independence.
Arminius is uniquely positioned to really deal a devastating blow to the Roman Empire and their imperialist expansion. Not only does he understand his own people, he also understands what they're up against. He understands the Roman military strategy.
The great insight that Arminius was able to bring to this was the weakness of the Roman army on the march. It was vulnerable when men were strung out over many, many miles or kilometers and factored way down by their equipment and not able to form out into a battle array to be able to deal with the contingency of a fight.
Arminius had developed a really ambitious plan, building a rampart on the one side so they couldn't get out there, flooding the marches on the other side so they couldn't escape.
It's utterly incredible. He has to conceive of the trap. He has to get 15,000 Germans on board to build it. And then, most extraordinary of all, has to put himself right beside Varus and guide him, walk him into the trap personally.
Over the course of 3 days, 3 Roman legions are wiped out. For Arminius, this is a tremendous victory. Here we see the Germanic barbarians wiping out, destroying, annihilating the very best that Rome had to offer.
Arminius's War of Liberation was devastating to the empire. It constituted the first time in which the Romans withdrew from conquered territory.
The end of Roman imperial expansion can be traced back with real validity to Arminius's victory.
Strategists, tacticians, ever since, have striven to copy what the barbarians achieved because it represents tactical perfection.
We know this land. This terrain is in our blood.